Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us today. I am Denise Conner, the Surrogate Support Manager here at Family Source Consultants, and I have the pleasure of talking with Lexi today, one of our surrogate ambassadors. This is my first time doing a Q&A with Lexi, so I'm really excited to talk to you today. Lexi is embarking on a second surrogacy journey. So our topic today is all of the wonderful positive aspects of doing another journey. All of the things you already know and maybe some new things you learn along the way. With that being said, I am going to turn it over to Lexi and let you introduce yourself to everybody and let us know what made you decide to become a surrogate the first time around and then come back to do it again.
Hi everyone, my name is Lexi. I've been with Family Source for the past 5 years. So my first journey was also with Family Source. I'm a mom of 3. I have a 1.5-year-old Bernedoodle. I call that one of my kids too because they're the same exact age as the surrogate baby that I had December of 2022. So I just love having my dog share the same birth week as the baby that I gave birth to. And then my son is 3 years old and my daughter is 6. And I live in Florida and let me see, I'm currently in school for exercise science and business. Our dream is to open a family gym here in Florida one day. So that is the main dream that we have. And what made me decide to become a surrogate was a lot of friends in my family, I've seen firsthand how they would suffer through infertility and trouble bringing a baby into their family. So I strongly believe in the gift of helping others. So whenever I would go online, surrogacy ads would always pop up. So I was always interested in that. So I looked more into it. It took me about a year to really finalize my decision because some other aspects is I love to be pregnant and I just saw how rewarding this experience can be to give the gift of life to another family. That's truly what I saw, how rewarding that would be. So that was my main reason for becoming a surrogate.
And it really is. Once you hand that baby over to their intended parents, it's just that feeling cannot be topped. It's the next best feeling to having your own children, in my opinion. So I can see how, surrogates want to keep coming back and doing it again and again and again because it's just such a feel good. And it's such an important thing that you're doing for somebody else. So being able to bless multiple families with that gift is just a really indescribable feeling.
Yeah.
So as you're embarking on journey number 2, what are some of the parts of your journey that you're looking forward to the most?
Definitely re-experiencing that special bond that I formed between the parents and the family. So that is something that it's always going to be up to the discretion of the parents and the surrogate. So for me personally, I love having that close bond with the family. Some other surrogates and parents may want to have it more independent and not too connected, which there's no wrong or right answer. But for me personally, I think that just made it amazing. So that's what in the second journey, I'm looking forward to re-experiencing that. And so far, I am with these parents. They're so amazing. I keep in touch with them. I already feel a really close relationship with this family. And of course, the opportunity to help another family achieve the gift of life.
I'm really glad you mentioned that because that's true. Not everybody desires the same kind of contact during your journey or the same kind of relationship. Some are more hands-off, and that's okay too. There's no right or wrong way to do it. It's just, whatever works best for you. I had a very close relationship with my intended parents as well, and I wouldn't have wanted it any other way. So I definitely know how you feel in that regard.
Yeah.
What do you think the benefits are for you in doing a second journey? What are some of the things that you're going to kind of know this time around?
The benefits of doing a second journey, it really is including the opportunity to apply my knowledge and experience from my first journey to this journey. So it made the process a lot more easier in regards to like the legal, medical, and just personal experience overall. And also forming that deeper relationship with not only this agency family source, but also the parents as well.
Yeah, definitely. You're going to have an edge up this time around because you kind of know what's coming.
Yeah.
You know what medical screening is like, you know what legal is like, you know what the pregnancy is like, what delivery is like. So it gives you a little bit of an edge. That's for sure.
So for this journey, it actually is well, I feel like it is in a way a little, but a lot different because this one is going to be a natural cycle. So my
Okay.
first journey was a medicated cycle. So everything was a lot more, concise and thorough with scheduling and planning. This one, it's really following your body's natural cycle. So I have to make sure I'm on top of tracking ovulation and then following all their protocol with the medication. So I'm my tentative date for transfer is June 10th, but we really won't know. It could be like a week after, even a week before, because it just really varies on my cycle.
Are you excited to try it a different way this
Yes,
time around?
after hearing the doctor with all the benefits with a natural cycle, it puts a lot less stress on your body than a medicated cycle. But either way, I did love my medicated cycle because I knew it was expected for each month. And, when the babies do this one, it's more following how my body's going to react to the medications and also when I'm going to ovulate. But I do like that it's going to put a lot less stress on my body as well.
Maybe a little bit less med bloat
Yes.
and,
Yeah.
and that sort of thing.
I actually do not have the progesterone shots this time. It's only going to be the pills. So it's going to be like, I think one
Oh,
oral and one vaginal each day. Whereas the Medicaid, I was doing the progesterone shots. And I also have this time around a trigger shot. I haven't had this yet. So I guess around the time where I'm going to ovulate, they're going to plan it. And then I'm going to do the trigger shot. And hopefully within a week will be the transfer.
interesting.
Yeah.
Well, this will be kind of fun for you. It'll be a new experience.
Yeah.
Then you can say, I've done it both ways, and here's what I like about this way, and here's what I liked about this way. I'm sure
Yeah.
you're not disappointed that you're not going to have to do progesterone and oil shots, though, are you?
No. And well, they did say so. We'll try. If this doesn't work out, they said that I can still try it, the medicated cycle, since that is what worked for me last time. So we definitely do have the flexibility where I don't just need to do the natural cycle and then 3 times and it's going to fail. But they know that the medicated cycle works for me. So just in case, we will be able to do that option as well.
That's awesome that you have that. Yeah, that you have a little bit of leeway and you can switch gears if you need to just to make sure we have success. So that's
Yeah.
really awesome. That's really cool. Um, are your intended parents happy that you're doing it this way too? Kind of like more
Yeah.
on the fly?
So of course this is their first time ever doing surrogacy or IVF in this whole natural cycle area. So when we met this clinic, which is New England Fertility Institute, they suggested that this will be best for us. I mean, statistically, it is going to be the same as a medicated cycle for the success rates. So even though my parents were just wondering, like, what if I try the medicated because that already worked for me. The doctor did comfort them that based on my body's ability, like it, we still do have it as successful rate as if I did the medicated cycle. But just to know that we still have the option to do medicated, it's they really confident in this decision.
That's awesome. Well, I hope it works for you.
Yeah, thank
I
you.
hope it works and it's nice and gentle and you don't have to switch gears. That would be
Thank
cool
you.
to be able to experience, both kind of
Yeah.
transfers.
And it's definitely a different journey. They're located in New York, and they transferred the embryos to Connecticut, where New England Fertility Institute is. So it's both technically out of state for us. My first journey, I was still able to be in Florida. So that definitely made a huge difference. So there's definitely big differences between my first journey and second journey, but I love, like you said, experiencing both different.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Did you change anything this second time around when you went and applied? Did you change anything on your profile, or did you keep it pretty much the same? Or were there things you learned from your first journey that you knew to ask for the second time around?
I basically focus on highlighting my previous journey's experience and the lessons I learned in my profile this time around. And then, let's see. I did update that I was going to school full time. So that was a commitment that I am doing right now, is going to school full time. And I think what was important to note, and I just do want to give this advice to other surrogates, is definitely to include if you have any animals. So I had the 1.5-year-old Bernedoodle, and I actually didn't, I don't know if I included that in my profile or not, but even in the meeting, I did bring up that I had the 1.5-year-old Bernedoodle, but I didn't do that the first time around. So I realized like I was actually coming out of pocket for pet sitting costs.
Mm-hmm.
The first time around without me realizing that. So I just want to make sure, like, if you guys have any pets or animals, to definitely include that, because we were already closer to the legal to bring up like the pet sitting. It didn't register through my head to actually bring that up during the meeting with everything going on. But of course, my intended parents are so happy to help with that. So there was no problem with covering for pet sitting.
That's a great point, because it does happen. You have to travel, you might have to board your pet, and those fees can get quite costly.
Yeah.
If you're gone for a decent amount of time, so that's an excellent point to mention. What other kinds of, besides the pet sitting fees, are there other things maybe in legal or about delivery that you changed or updated, or just things that you want to do differently this time?
I think it was pretty much about the same. Um,
If it's not broke, don't fix it, kind of
Yes,
thing.
exactly. Yes, they're about the same. I work with the same lawyer as last time, so everything just fit perfectly. But legal,
Good.
whenever they do tell everyone that legal takes the longest, it truly does take the longest. It took the whole month of April, and we didn't want to believe it because we just want to have the baby right away. But it really did take the whole month of April. But it's really important not to rush that, regardless, to make sure to review back and forth with both parties. That's very, very important, because this legal contract is really, really going to make up a majority of, from start to finish for this journey.
It is a vital step in the process, and it is so important not to rush through it.
Yeah.
And I know how frustrating, it can get for some of the girls, where they're like, "Oh my gosh, I've been in legal forever," and
Yeah.
it's worth it. Of course, you wanted to go quicker, but it's worth it because you really want to make sure those I's are dotted and those T's are crossed, and that everybody is covered in all scenarios. So yeah, very important to
Yeah.
take your time with legal, for sure. Um, so what do you think? You're a pro. Okay, you're a pro. You've been through this. What advantage do you think you have over girls that are coming in on their first journey?
I feel like experienced surrogates can really understand like the emotional and physical demands already from the first journey, and how to develop like coping mechanisms to navigate all of the different challenges. So I feel like once we had that from the first journey, we can also apply that to the second journey, and also help other surrogates who don't know to also do the same, whether they're going through a negative part of the journey, because there's going to be ups and downs. It takes so long. And to just share this valuable knowledge to first timers, it's truly meaningful as an ambassador, because there was so many questions that I had as a first time surrogate, and I couldn't find any information online about it. I think there was maybe just one woman on YouTube that was doing like really nice videos, but I just love how Family Source makes it so open, so you never feel alone. And the support group that you're running as well is so extremely helpful for the surrogates, because they never feel that they're alone and they have answers to all the questions because we've experienced the same things that they've experienced.
I'm so glad you said that too, because I'll take any opportunity I can to talk about our support group. So, our online support group, it's true. It is like the place to go for your answers and your questions and just anything, any of your feelings or your emotions. I mean, it is a safe zone. There are so many knowledgeable women in our group. And, even quite often, I'll be having, private conversations with our surrogates, and they'll ask me a question that I don't have all the answers. I don't know the answer to everything. And I'll say, you know what? This is a great opportunity for you to go in our group and post a question. And I bet you within the next hour or two,
Yes.
you're going to have 20 answers
It
of
amazes
somebody
me.
who knows better than I do.
Exactly. It amazes me how fast it's like that. Somebody's either already been through that
Right.
situation or they have the knowledge to help.
Right. And that's why I feel like it's so important, even though there's some girls that aren't even on Facebook. And I'm like, even if you just create an account just to go in our group and nothing else, it's
Yeah.
worth it, because otherwise you're missing out on so much beneficial information and support and love from your case managers and other staff members and other surrogates, past, present, future. It's just kind of one big happy family. So I
And that's
love
what I love
talking about it.
about Family Source. It really does feel like a family. There's some other agencies where I see surrogates, they just feel so alone. They don't know who to ask these important information and
Right.
topics on. So I've made amazing friends through your support group, and I just love being a part of it so much.
And we love having you a part of it so much. I can't wait to start seeing those bump pictures again.
Yes.
So how can you, let's talk a little bit, we'll switch gears just a little bit and talk about how surrogacy has really impacted your life personally and your family. What kind of positive things has it brought to your life?
It's definitely brought an immense amount of fulfillment and joy, not just to me, but to my children and my husband, for them to really experience the meaningful impact that we brought on another person's family's life. It's just the shared experience of giving selflessly to others. What was so special about my last journey was my daughter was actually the same age as my family's daughter, their daughter that they had. So they were both 5 years old, 5 years old, like going through that together. And they will never forget that was probably one of their biggest moments in their life, bringing a baby to their family. And we're still so close to them as well. And it just teaching these values to my kids, what we can do for other people, was so important.
Absolutely. I say that all the time. Like, you need to do big things for people. And as a woman, this is probably the biggest thing
Yeah.
that you could do for somebody else that really changes somebody's life and has just such meaning, not only to them, but for yourself, for your family, and even extended family, that are supporting you and going, on the journey with you. And they're learning about it too. And they're talking to people about it and helping to spread the word by saying, hey, my daughter is a surrogate. She's doing this awesome thing for somebody. I feel like every other person that you can touch and tell, you never know when they're going to know somebody that needs help.
Yes. And usually that is what happens. You'll hear people and they're like, oh, they're looking into getting a surrogate. And when my daughter would go to school, she would tell all the teachers would always just think it's so amazing. So, yes, it's just amazing. Also bringing this knowledge to other people who may not even know what surrogacy is.
Right. Absolutely. Do you have any last minute pieces of advice or tips going through the processes that you'd like to offer
Yes.
to our listeners that are considering doing a surrogacy journey and just aren't sure yet if they want to commit to it?
I would say definitely approach this process with an open heart and clear communication all around, and a willingness to enjoy the journey's ups and downs. and just surround yourself with an amazing support system, whether that's family or friends. Family Source has an amazing support system. And then educate yourself about the process. There's so much that goes into it. And also trust in the guidance of experienced professionals to navigate the complexities of surrogacy successfully.
I'm throwing another question in there because it just came to mind. How does your first surrogate family feel about you doing a journey for somebody else?
They think
Did
it's
you ask them first if they wanted another one before you?
well, because I think we both knew like they just wanted a son because they already had a daughter,
Okay.
so they were already just so blessed to just have one more as a son. So I don't think they want another one. But when I told them about that, I was thinking of it. They were just so amazed and happy to realize that I was doing this one more time. This is my last time doing it. Yeah.
Oh, sure. I've heard that before.
Yeah. I thought I was only going to do it one time, but like a lot of us, we go through that journey and it's just such a life-changing experience. So I wanted to experience that one more time.
I was going to do another journey as well. I'm a one and done surrogate, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I was going to do another journey, and it just didn't work out for me medically with my age and other factors. But I had reached out to my first set of intended parents, and I was kind of surprised by their reaction because they had, the one daughter, and that I had for them. And I said, I'm thinking of signing up and doing another journey. I just want to make sure your family is complete. And they were like, really? They're like, well, we're happy that, you want to help somebody else, but we kind of looked at you like our special Denise, like, and now, yeah. And I was like, oh, well, that's really sweet. But yeah, I think they were a little surprised. Like they thought that I wasn't going to pursue another one. So yeah, I was kind of surprised by that.
I was the same way. I didn't think I was going to either, but it sort of just creeped up on me, just wanting to experience this again. It just came out of nowhere. I was like, I have to do this one more time for another family.
It gets addictive after a while. and I think that's what happens in our group too. And what I'm noticing a lot of lately is that people or women are delivering and like, they're like right away, like, when can I sign up? Like, I want to do this again. This was so awesome. I love, obviously. But yeah, I think that's the key, is just having a really great experience the first time around, the second time around, that makes you want to keep coming back for more and more. That's what we hope, at least.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to share with our listeners, Lexi?
I think that's all. Yeah.
That's about it. All right. Well, thank you for joining us today. And I hope anybody listening got some beneficial information out of our Q&A today. Any other questions or concerns, you can please visit our website at www.familysourceconsultants.com.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Lexi, for joining me. Have a good day.
You too. Bye.